What's going on, guys? Icy here for Endgame Plus, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys something a little bit different. So, instead of just normal gameplay commentary, we're actually going to be discussing an Udyr build that I kind of made up off the top of my head. Checked op.gg, nowhere else, this may exist elsewhere, it's kind of common sense really. But, Tank Deer. Very important, because I don't like playing anything other than Udyr, and sometimes you don't have a tank. Sometimes you have a Yasuo top, or sometimes you have a Lissandra top, and then you have to be the tank. And sometimes you just got squishy support. Maybe you've got a Nami, maybe you've got a Soraka, and even if you do have a top laner that's gone bruiser, you still need to be tanky. So we're going to be doing this build, which actually, surprisingly, does allow you to do a fair amount of damage, despite being primarily tanky. So, first of all, Resolve Tree, obviously, or else we're not going to be able to take any of this. Secondly, Aftershock. After immobilizing enemy champion, increase your armor and magic resist by 20 plus 30% for 2.5 seconds, then explode, dealing magic damage equal to 40 to 140, plus 3.5% of your maximum health. Now that's really good because you impair movement speed with Bear Stance, and you can also impair it with Red Buff because it slows. So that increases your armor and magic resist by 20 plus 30% every time you stun somebody. So that's on a 20-second cooldown. So that's really good. And afterwards it explodes for 3.5% of your maximum health, which will be important later, especially when we're getting up around 4,000 health. Now, next, Font of Life. Impairing the movement of an enemy champion marks them for 4 seconds. Once again, Bear Stance, red dot. Allied champions who attacked marked enemies heal for 5 plus 1% of your maximum health. So 1% of 4,000 is not that much, but it's still a heal. Conditioning. After 10 minutes, gain 8 armor and 8 magic resist, and increase your armor and magic resist by 5%. Again, tankiness, not just health, it's also damage mitigation. And lastly, Overgrowth. Permanently gain 0.2% maximum health for every 8 monsters or enemy minions that die near you. Now, as you are going to be taxing lanes, pushing lanes, farming jungles, yours and enemies, that is going to be increasing steadily over the course of a game. Now, last part, Precision. 65 health, 9% attack speed. Attack speed's always good on Udyr. Extra health is also good for this build. Triumph, takedowns, which are kills and assists. Restore 12% of your missing health and grant additional 25 gold. Now 12% of your missing health, if you're at half health and you help kill somebody, you're healing for 12% of that missing 50, which ends up being a lot when you're trying to stay alive and you're rotating between turtle stance and bear stance and you're never dying essentially. And then tenacity. Takedowns, once again, kills or assists on enemies grant permanent tenacity, which adds up to be an extra 20%. Which is really good. So you get 20% tenacity on that, and then you get yourself some Merc Treads to get even more tenacity. And then you basically slows, stuns, basically don't affect you anymore. So, without further ado, allow me to demonstrate this in some gameplay. Alright, so first things first, how do you clear with Tank Udyr? Now, it's largely the same as it usually is. It's just, in this particular instance, I was actually testing out a thing I think I heard from Panzer Dragon, which was just a way to clear to be level 4, essentially. So we basically go red, take one small wolf, a large wolf, get blue, and then get Gromp. Because we love Mr. Krabs, we always go for Mr. Krabs. In this case, Jax happened to be getting it. We Smite stole it away because no one takes my crab. But after that, we continued back down. We took the little wolf that we left before, and then we got raptors, and then we were level 4. So that was actually really helpful. Now, this is a somewhat important part that I want to explain. Not only did it result in me getting first blood, but I want to explain why. So, firstly, we go in, we get the stun, and then we go into Tiger Stance on the Misfortune, and the first auto attack applies the dot. Now, the dot's very important because you're not going to be doing too much damage, but early game you still do a lot of damage. You do almost as much as you would normally. So you apply that dot, and then you get the second one off. If you can get the third one off, even better, because I'll refresh the dot and actually explode it, technically, if it was not already finished. So we go in, we kill the Misfortune, we get First Blood Gold, which results in us recalling and buying our first tier jungle item with the Barmy Cinder, which starts our snowball. Continuing to farm and gank as you usually would is very important because you still are Udyr, you still have your stuns, you still have your damage, you're still very strong early game. Not many champions can actually deal with you. So keeping an eye on the map, we notice that mid lane Zed is nearly dead. And another reason why we take Chilling Smite is because it actually does damage as well as slow. So we go in, we Chill Smite and kill the Zed, Bear Stance over to the Jax, flash onto him because we can't quite catch him, stun, Jhin follows up, and then we Tiger, and we get the dot onto him. And then that ends up actually killing him even though he flashes over the wall. Continuing on the mid lane, we actually end up taking mid tower because jungle and mid are dead, so that made it kind of easy. And then after recalling, we actually finished our Cinder Hulk, picked up a Sheen and a Chain Vest. Now we're going to start skipping forward in chunks just to get to the more relevant parts of the game, just so that I can explain them better. So this one is the first time that I actually get to showcase the Tank Deer playstyle, which is ganking and ulting Nasus under his tower and actually killing him. So as you notice, we're weaving in our bear stance and our turtle stance. We're doing that. We're stunning, and then we're running out so that he can't get us, and then we're weaving turtle stance any time that the tower aggro's on us just to negate some of that damage. As you see, that ends up actually getting us a kill on Nasus. Now what we want to show here is just how potent Tank Deer can be. So what we're constantly doing is weaving in our turtle stance and our stuns. Stunning primarily is very important. So what we're going to do is we're going to run up, got turtle stance, we're going to go back to stun the Jax just so he can't do as much damage. We're going to run away a bit so I forget about us. We're going to run back in, stun the Rakan. You see we're just annoying them at this point. And Jax goes on the ADC. The ADC will eventually die. Jax is now a bit scared, but he still wants that kill. He gets that kill, but he's diving us on the tower, so that's not really going to work out for him, is it? So we've got the Tiger Stance in there with the dots. We kill him. Rakan dies the tower. And then we chase down the Misfortune. Now, she's not going to be able to get away. That's why we keep Flash. We don't keep Flash to get out of situations usually. We keep it to kill people. And we end up with a triple kill. And potentially could have killed Zed. Now, the reason we were able to do that, we're now 6-1-1. That was our first death in 16 minutes. The reason we were able to do that is because Sheen, Cinder Hulk, Boots, just for speed, and we've almost finished our Dead Man's Plate, which makes us quite tanky. Skipping forward about 10 minutes, we've now bought our Merc Treads, Stinger, and finished our Dead Man's Plate. Now, the one thing you need to remember is you are now the frontline tank. You don't take much damage. So we're turtle stance in, we're bear stunning the Nasus, and he's not having a good day. So we're getting rid of him. Now, Misfortune off, we don't really care. That does nothing. So we're going in, we're stunning the Rakan. Rakan thinks he can get between us. It's not really going to work out. They do eventually get away, but you see how this works out. Jax was very overconfident. I don't know why he still thought he could do things. He just gets away. And then we press on to get the tower. Skipping forward again, we actually end up catching Nasus out in my jungle. Now, he's not a very happy boy because he really shouldn't have been here and he paid for it. Now, the next thing you need to remember is even though you're playing Tank Deer, you still need to do objectives. Objective control is the biggest part of playing Udyr. Love playing objectives, so we ended up going on to get Baron and then push for the win. So we've just gone back from recalling, we've finished our Trinity Force and we started Abyssal Mask. So we've just come into a team fight, we've helped kill Jax, we're going to go up and we're going to... So it's the Misfortune. We want to kill the Misfortune because she's squishy and she does a lot of damage. But Nasus gets between us, so we start bear stancing, turtle stancing, so we don't die. We get Nasus, so we help our team get Nasus. Misfortune's dead, and now we're basically just pushing for the win because the only one left is Rakan, and obviously Rakan isn't going to stop us, so pushing in the Baron buff minions. We're switching between stances again for the Sheen proc because we still do a lot of damage. Tiger Stance still does a lot of damage, even if we only have one damage item. And that being the Trinity Force. So, Rakan's dead, they're all dead, and basically, just flashing the mastery for tilt at this point. So, I hope you guys found this informative. If you'd like to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comments. But, till next time, see ya!